Same-sex marriage may be fully legalized in Thailand soon. Oh, nice. Cabinet approves a marriage equality bill to grant same-sex couples equal rights. Well, that's good. It does seem kind of silly and anachronistic for a country that is to many Westerners known primarily for being the transgender place, not having legal gay marriage. But while famous for being a queer-friendly country, Thailand struggled past marriage equality law. Huh. Okay. The third place in Asia after Taiwan and Nepal to allow same-sex marriage. This is I think this would kind of make, pardon my Western chauvinism here, this would be like, this is the first Asian country to actually, like, I would say this would be the first, like, authentic example of an Asian country in a culturally meaningful sense embracing legal same-sex marriage. Because Taiwan and their progressivism is very heavily influenced by the West. And nobody cares about Nepal. Taiwan, however, or not Taiwan, sorry, Thailand, however, the other Thai, thank you. This is being arrived at, I think, much more directly from the existing cultural trend. A lot of people write off Taiwan and call it like not even really like a proper Asian country because it's been so heavily weighed and influenced by Western investment and political protection. I think that's bullshit, but I think that in terms of like encouraging the spread of more countries in the region to adopt this, I think that would be good. It's not Simple Systems. I don't manage my Insta. You'll have to find my email, but even then, no promises. You said Taiwan again? I don't even know what I'm saying. I think that Thailand allowing legal same-sex marriage will be very culturally impactful because many other countries in the region can write off Nepal for being tiny and irrelevant and Taiwan for being a perceived puppet of the West, whereas Thailand is neither tiny and irrelevant nor a perceived puppet of the West. There we go. Okay. So that's good. Nepal has like 40 million people, LMFAO Vosh. Yeah, I said like perceived tiny and irrelevant. I think the main problem with Nepal in terms of like regional relevance is its geography, right? Because it's being fought over, isn't it? I don't know that much about, hold on, Nepal map. Yeah. Nepal has mountains? I have heard that rumor. But it's right between China and India. I feel like... I think I read this once, but it might have literally just been a Twitter comment, so I don't even know if this is real. But my impression is that, like, so much of Nepal's cultural capital is wrapped up in being a buffer between China and India, and also being the mountain buffer, you know, that it doesn't get treated the same way a bunch of other countries in Asia do. If that makes any sense. Maybe that's totally wrong. Maybe Nepal actually has a lot of like regional cultural influence, but it's like being surrounded by India and China, the two dominant cultural powers, you know? So I guess it makes sense that it would be kind of like, you know, Nepal is just inaccessible. Yeah, it might just be literally like locked in. I don't know. I've never had Nepalese food. Nepalese? Also, decriminalization of homosexuality in Sri Lanka is likely within the next year or two. That's, hey, nice. Love to see that. Yeah, as long as Europe is sort of degrading and becoming more right-wing, I think we should see the opposite over here. We're getting the islands first, you know, we're wokeifying the islands. We got Taiwan, we're going to get Sri Lanka. We need to get Japan, because that is an island, you know, it's several even. Sri Lanka, so though, yeah, but let's let them. We should invade Nigeria to make them legalize homosexuality. Yes, I agree. Any amount of death and bloodshed is worthwhile as long as it means boy smooches in the areas that we leave behind. Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw this. Oh wait, yeah. What is the state of affairs with Japan gay marriage equality? Like, I know legally they don't recognize it. How are they like close? It's so weird for Japan to be as conservative as it is when they are like the dominant global cultural exporter of homosexuality. Anime is like universally associated with with homosexuality. It is, you know? And culturally it's everywhere. Like it's not, I know that when I say culturally I'm referring to stuff that gets out of Japan because that's like countercultural stuff in a lot of ways rather than stuff that gets internally disseminated. But it is just kind of funny like that just somehow the external the export of their culture would be so queer leaning compared to how it is like internally, you know? We didn't do enough to fix their culture after World War II. I'm pretty sure we're part of the reason this is the problem. Like we built their constitution. The Liberal Democratic Party, which has been in power almost continuously since '58, remains opposed to it. Nice. In 2022, a district court in Osaka upheld the constitutionality of the same-sex marriage ban. What constitutional amendment or whatever are they referring to? Oh, that's not helpful. The Sapporo court also ruled that Article 24 of the Constitution, which defines marriage as, quote, based only on the mutual consent of both sexes, does not prohibit the recognition of same-sex marriages. So what this would mean is you can have a gay marriage, but you need like a woman there to agree to it as well. So she can be like, yeah, I approve of this. And then you continue with the gay marriage. In June 2023, a Fukuoka district court ruled that the ban was in a state of unconstitutionality. It is believed that Ainu people, Golden Kamuy, shout out. Watch Golden Kamuy. Watch Golden Kamuy if you're gay. Vosh, please? No. Not everything is anime, except for Golden Kamuy, which is an anime. It's also a manga. Just watch it because it's one of the few Ainu language things you can watch. Typically, trans rights in Asia are more developed than gay rights, especially in South Asia, where Pakistan has a legal third gender but is 99% Muslim. Yeah, it's very odd. It reminds me of how, like, in Iran, you can, like, the state will, like, forcibly trans people so that they can have, like, straight partnerships or whatever. It's very odd. This is what I mean by, like, it's not enough to agree on the problem. You have to agree on the solution. People have very different values sometimes. You gotta work on it. Forcification? Literally, yeah, kind of. Oh, yeah, speaking of homosexuals, good news, guys. Discord has banned transphobia. The one social media channel that you use is now safe. Discord now explicitly bans misgendering and dead-naming trans people on the platform. Looks like transphobes aren't going to be spewing their hate on Discord anytime soon. Want to bet? Yeah, so the hateful conduct policy has been expanded, including dead naming and misgendering a transgender person. So obviously, because Discord is made up of servers, you could always ban a person from your server for being transphobic. Now, you can report them, which could potentially get them removed from all Discord servers, as opposed to just the one there, you know? And you can report entire servers as well for being sort of festering and hateful with regards to transphobia. I'm not entirely sure how well this is even going to be enacted or how this could even be enforced, because there's a lot of hateful content that you can identify without too much context, you know? Like, if a person's using racial slurs or stuff like that, like, you can see that and go like, ah, okay, so that's racism. Whereas with transphobia, like dead naming and misgendering, I feel like an administrator would need a lot of context to understand, you know, the extent to which that's authentic bigotry versus whatever else. So, yeah, I don't know. How is this not already a policy? I don't know. Either way, it's nice. Sort of a reaffirmation that Discord is a woke space for woke lords. You know, you can be upset about it if you want. Conservatives, reactionaries, gamers, but no, it's their territory. I do think it's nice, though, to be reminded that in spite of the downfall of Twitter and the pushback from conservatives against trans rights, the overall cultural climate has not shifted entirely against trans people. I don't know, Smackrecto. Smarecto. Yeah, I think that Ukraine is also considering recognizing same-sex marriage. It's difficult to keep gay marriage illegal, you know? A lot of it has to do with internet access. As soon as the closeted gay people in your repressive country can go online and see that in the United States of America you can gallivant around and be gay all you want, or wherever else, it gets increasingly difficult to sort of, keep the lid on that, I think. Yeah, I agree. It's very important that trans acceptance is still the corporate standard. How much has that changed anyway? Hold on. Trans acceptance polling. When was the last polling done? This is very much like a minute to minute thing, with how much this shifts. Can I get like, I don't know, a chart? I need to have this on bookmark. Well, to begin with, at least with gay marriage. God damn, look at that shift. Do you have any idea how fast this is? I was born before this chart even began. I was born right here. And in that time, acceptance of same-sex couples treated by the law as valid with the same rights as traditional marriages has zoom. Now, it has mostly plateaued, and that's, of course, because, modern conservatism, blah, blah. But, like, man, even with things that are as they are, like, the Republican Party is pretty much completely committed to the revocation of Obergefell, the revocation of federally recognized legal same-sex marriage. And only 28% of Americans agree with that position. It's a remarkably quick shift for a large social movement. Oh, it's huge. It's ridiculously fast. On a long-term timescale, you need to understand that, like, in terms of acceptance of same-sex marriage, from America's beginning to now, you would have, like, the blue bar over here would be at, like, 100, and the green bar down here would be at 0 for basically all time. And then they just switch positions, Is this just in the U.S.? Yeah, this is the United States. Wait, it is, right? It has to be. They wouldn't mix multiple countries. It doesn't say here. It has to be. Do you think this is only because of social media? I think social media is a huge part of it. The default tactic of repressive homophobic regimes is to just socially pressure queer people to stay in the closet forever until they die. And it's very difficult to keep people in the closet when they can see other people out of the closet elsewhere. How have Arab countries kept it done then? They're just tend to be more repressive than us. Like, they're not democracies, which is a huge part of it, Pretty difficult to have a queer rights movement in Saudi Arabia or Iran. All right, guys, I've got good news. As the equality index goes, it seems Greenland is pretty peak. So if you want to be gay, go to Greenland or Iceland, I guess. I feel like Spain should be higher. Spain is very queer-friendly. Brazil and Spain are right next to each other. Latin America stay winning, huh? Except for Paraguay? Ah, because they're only partially gay. I see. Yeah, exactly, Alec Hunter. Maintains the illusion of sort of collective invisibility. Para means adjacent. Look, don't chew into the joke. Don't tear me apart. Okay? What's the worst place to live right now? I don't know. Congo? Maybe. We learned a little bit about Eritrea recently. Is Darfur still totally? Yeah, probably. Eritrea? Eritrea? Is that it? Apparently Putin's invasion has boosted gay rights support in Ukraine. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, Russia invaded their country, and Russia has also been very publicly, very visibly. Also, the drip. Oh my God. The, like, mid-forearm poofy? That looks great. Yeah, it's some kind of traditional clothing.